If you're in the market for a new or used Toyota Rav4, you'll want to watch this video. Toyota Rav4s can be excellent low-maintenance vehicles that are economical and reasonably priced. They're a well-rounded car that balances each aspect very well. They've historically been fantastic cars that run for a very long time with very few issues, but are these newer generations just as well made? In this video, you'll learn what it's like to own a 2020 Rav4 for 3 years and 60,000 miles. It's not a 30-year, 500,000-mile review, but it's longer than 99% of the reviews out there, which only showcase the car when it's still brand new, and it should give you a good idea of how these cars hold up over a few years' time. If you enjoy automotive content and find this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Stepping inside is very easy with these small SUVs, which make them ideal for running errands and getting in and out frequently. The front seats are comfortable with plenty of adjustments, which is great for taller and shorter drivers, and it makes it easy to stay comfortable on long road trips. The driving position is comfortable and there's excellent visibility out all windows. The rear seats are spacious and are generally all you need for carrying passengers, but they're not huge. The interior is pretty comfortable for extended road trips, provided you don't have large passengers in the back. All materials have held up very well and have few signs of wear. The seats still have the exact same shape and the same amount of support as when they were new, which is good to see. With lower quality cars, you'll see the seats tearing, fading, and caving in after just a few years. The buttons, switches, windows, and electronics all work flawlessly. Most of the interior plastics are hard, so they do scratch easily, but other than that, the interior is practically brand new. One of the best things about the Rav4 is that Toyota puts the safety features as standard, like forward collision, lane departure, lane keep assist, and basically every other safety feature available. These are reassuring to have, especially in a family car, and it's nice to know that they come standard and you don't need to pay extra for them. The screen works fine and is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible, but the graphics are kind of antiquated and it just feels pretty old in general, but it does get the job done. One of the best things about this size car is that they provide a great balance of size, comfort, and maneuverability. This car handles very comfortably in parking lots, at low and medium speeds, as well as on the highway. It drives like a Corolla or Camry, only higher off the ground, which is perfect if you're looking for a utilitarian type vehicle. The fact that it's so easy and effortless to drive makes it ideal for running errands, and it works well for just about any use. The brakes are responsive and provide nice feedback, and the pads and rotors seem to last a long time without needing to be replaced. The ride is very comfortable and the suspension soaks up bumps reasonably well. The wheelbase isn't exactly huge, so don't expect the ride comfort to feel like a luxury car, but the ride is smooth and pleasant. The cabin isn't exactly quiet when it comes to road noise, but the tires play a big part of noise and ride comfort. A nice set of Michelins would probably make a significant improvement in both ride quality and road noise. As expected, the suspension hasn't had any problems in terms of clunks or rattles, even when turning at low speeds or going over large bumps or holes. The shocks absorb bumps just like they did when they were new, and the steering and suspension feel tight and new. The car is still on its original set of brakes and rotors, despite being driven in the city and in mixed driving. The 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine is a great motor, and it's a great match for this car. It puts out 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, and it's connected to an 8-speed transmission, which seems to be a great match for the engine. The Rav will do 0 to 60 in a little over 8 seconds, which is plenty quick for most buyers, and it's adequate for regular driving. There's usually plenty of power when accelerating, and the transmission works well to kick down when needed. The 4-cylinder is a little raspy, which is typical, but it accelerates and idles smoothly. The transmission shifts very seamlessly, and it never bangs into gear or has any weird hiccups. The auto stop-start is a little disruptive and startling to passengers. There are definitely more seamless auto stop-start systems out there. It's not surprising that the powertrain has been flawless for 60,000 miles, but these engines are known to run forever. Toyota has been using the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine for years in different models, like the Camry and Tacoma. They're known for lasting an extremely long time with just oil and filter changes. The 8-speed transmission hasn't been around for as long as the engine, so there isn't as much information available, but there are very few reports of transmission problems. With regular fluid changes, the transmission will probably last a very long time if the reliability of Toyota's other transmissions are any indication. With the combination of highway, city, and stop-and-go traffic, I average about 28 miles per gallon with a heavy foot, which is what I would expect from a car this size. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad for a small SUV that's comfortable and spacious. If it were used in cold weather and driven many short trips, I'd expect it to be quite a bit worse, but if you only drive it at 50 miles per hour on flat roads, it would be quite a bit better. Keep in mind that gas mileage varies so much depending on your climate, your driving style, and what type of roads you're driving on, so it's hard to get an accurate idea of what your personal fuel consumption would be. The EPA estimates of 41 city and 38 highway for the hybrid are a little bit better if you want the hybrid version, but they're almost $3,000 more expensive. This car has held up extremely well with very little signs of wear, which isn't a surprise considering Toyota is known for long-lasting vehicles. The paint is kept protected with a ceramic spray, which keeps the water beating off and provides protection from the sun so it still looks shiny and new. The plastics have faded in spots, like near the windshield wipers, but still look new in most places. In addition to the body and hardware holding up extremely well, the car hasn't had any problems whatsoever. The electronics have never stopped working or acted funny. The engine never makes any strange noises or rattles. The transmission works perfectly, and the suspension handles and rides identical to a new one, aside from tires wearing. Be sure to follow the factory maintenance manual if you want the car to last a long time. A common misconception is that just changing the engine oil is really all that's needed, but what most people don't know is that there are quite a few other fluids that need to be changed regularly. The service intervals aren't as frequent as engine oil, but they're still important. You need to stay up to date on all fluid changes, which make a big impact on long-term longevity. Over the years, Consumer Reports has given the Rav4 better than average reliability ratings. The engine, transmission, drive system, suspension, and other major components don't have any persistent issues and have been extremely reliable for the most part. This generation has had some minor engine-related problems like pulleys, worn engine mounts, or leaks, but these are isolated and not common at all. Do a search for common Toyota Rav4 problems and you won't find anything that jumps out, and you definitely shouldn't find any problems that would prevent you from buying one. The 2.5-liter engine should be long-lasting and easy to maintain for many years when compared to the turbo engines that are found in many similar cars. The non-hybrid Rav4 is rated to tow 1,500 pounds, but with the right packages, you can tow up to 3,500 pounds. Towing a small 1,500-pound trailer would be fine once in a while, but if you're planning on towing more than that, I'd look at a bigger vehicle that's heavier and wouldn't be swayed around by a trailer as easily, and that has a larger engine with more power. If you can afford the extra cost, take a look at the XLE. The XLE comes with alloy wheels instead of steel wheels with wheel covers. It also comes with rain-sensing windshield wipers, power seats with more adjustments, making it easier to stay comfortable, dual-zone climate control, and push-button start. The XLE is less than $2,000 more expensive, but it feels much more substantial in terms of options. This Rav4 has held up extremely well over a few years and 60,000 miles. This car provides an excellent balance of economy, reliability, comfort, and fuel economy. It's easy and comfortable to drive, and you can't forget the standard safety features. You can tell the build quality is excellent, from the ruggedness of the door handles to the foam inside the seats holding up extremely well, and this would be a car most people would be happy to own for a very long time. With regular maintenance, this car should easily last a few 100,000 miles.